While Plant Synchro, Agents, and TGs were widespread throughout the September 2011 format, there were plenty of other strategies also vying for Tier 1 contention. Old strategies like Frog Monarchs and X-Sabers actually topped during this time, and new decks such as Junk Doppel, Karakuri, and the newly released Dark World support courtesy of the Gates of the Underworld structure deck from October 2011 even allowed Dark World to enter the fray as well. In this series, both MBT and myself will be traversing the sands of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Each episode will take a deep dive into Yu-Gi-Oh's past formats and unlock new strategies as new sets become available. Strap yourselves in because anything is possible. Welcome to the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code CIMOOOoooo5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content.
I'm so happy I get to talk about this deck. In front of me is Dark World. Now, when I was a kid, I didn't have a ton of money for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and my parents were unwilling to hear me out when I let them know that actually it was a really good investment to buy a $300 Dark Armed Dragon. So, from about 2007 to about 2008, I was playing Dark World. Dark World was a fantastic budget archetype. It was decently competitive at a local level. Most of the power cards, with the exception of gold, were rare or lower. Silva, Brow, Beige, all these cards were easy to pick up from chaff that other players didn't want and left on tables. I nursed this deck until Dark Armed Dragon pushed me out of the metagame, and I decided, maybe Yu-Gi-Oh was a little too rich for my blood. Then in 2011, when I saw that Dark World was getting legacy support, I thought I might as well come back. It helped that it was in the exceptionally cheap structure deck, Gates of the Dark World, and it also helped that it was busted to hell. Every one of the new Dark World cards released in Q4 of 2011 is crazy. Saluri, Guru of Dark World, allows you to trigger the second effect of your Dark World monsters. This means that cards like Silva can shuffle your opponent's hand back into the deck. Snow, Unlight of Dark World, is a Rhoda for the archetype. Gates of Dark World allows you to single-handedly dealings for yourself. And of course, I would be remiss if I did not mention Grapha, the Dragon Lord of Dark World, one of the most pushed legacy pieces of support I've ever seen in my life. Can summon itself from the graveyard under Necro Valley at the time by returning a Dark World monster you control to the hand except itself. And if it's sent from the hand to the graveyard by a card effect, pop a card your opponent controls. Unbelievable. A whopping 2,700 attack stat, goes to 3,000 under Gates of Dark World, and combos so effortlessly with all of the virus traps. This was an immensely powerful deck, and Konami knew it. Going into YCS Kansas City, Dark Worlds were everywhere. They were plastered on all of the marketing. The coverage of the event was actually given by someone role-playing as Grapha, and the deck flopped. It got shit on. Of the top 32 slots at YCS Kansas City, 3 of them were Dark World decks. Of the top 16, 1 made it. The deck was a known quantity. 2 things prevented it from really breaking into the metagame despite these unbelievably powerful cards that had been gifted to it. Firstly, the mirror match was atrocious. Activating a card like Dark World Dealings in the mirror meant your opponent was going to get the better effect of their Dark World card, and you were going to lose. Second, it's super easy to board around. Something as simple as a Dimensional Fissure or a Macrocosmos can shut off the whole strategy on turn 1, and there's very little you could do about it since most of your removal is concentrated in Grapha. Now, this isn't completely fair to the deck. One bad tournament does not a deck's entire lifespan make, and Dark World did bounce back. It has some really impressive finishes and did become a power player in the metagame, but never really moved into the upper echelon that people thought it would occupy when the cards were first revealed. It was an exceptionally underwhelming deck, but I still really liked it. And that's why I'm so happy to be playing it today. So let me walk you through the individual cards. We're playing 3 Brow Huntsmen of Dark World. This is one of the very few holdouts from previous versions of the deck. If it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you draw a card. If it's an opponent's card effect, you draw 2. Saluri is a weird card. Some decks played him, some decks didn't. We are cribbing Maurice Brantley's top 32 Dark World list. I didn't go for the top 16 Dark World list from YCS Kansas City because it is a little unorthodox, but Saluri is a very interesting inclusion that I wanted to show off. If this is discarded by a card effect, it's special to your opponent's side of the field, then triggers an effect that causes you to discard a card. It's treated as your opponent's effect, which means you get the bonus. We've got Effect Veiler, Fabled Raven, whose effect to discard is not cost and therefore does trigger Dark Worlds. Triple Grapha, Dragon Lord of Dark World, 1 Morphing Jar, 1 Sangan, triple Silva, the best of the Dark Worlds still remaining. It turns out the shuffling is much more relevant than golds, especially when you're popping so many cards with Grapha. Triple Snow, triple Tour Guide from the Underworld. This card's kind of weird in this deck. Often decks would play this just to make Zen mains turn 1 or go into a Leviathan Dragon Lion or maybe get a Sangan on their side of the field for later. Often you would get a Brow off of this card and then return it to the hand in order to summon a Grapha from grave. We've got a card Destruction, a Darkhold, double Dealings, double Lightning, terrible card, but reasonable. Drag Down into the Grave is a very strange card. It's hand destruction. It minuses you and keeps your opponent even, but because you're going to plus off of your Dark World effects, it's kind of just a great way to know the contents of your opponent's hand and decide what you want to play around. 1 Monster Reborn, triple Gates of Dark World, 2 Dark Smog, 2 Deck Devastation Virus. This was the real thrust of this deck, the ability to play the virus cards by tributing Grapha, and Deck Dev is a fantastic one. And finally, 2 Mind Crush. Because you're playing Drag Down into the Grave because it triggers the effects of Dark Worlds already, Mind Crush means that you often know your opponent's hand contents anyway. Obviously, the card is powerful against anything that searches in and of itself, and Mind Crush was recently semi-limited, so pretty good to play. In the side deck, there were only 14 cards listed everywhere I found this deck. 2 Cyber Dragon, 2 Thunder King Ryo, a Leeching the Light, a Mystical Space Typhoon, double Compulse, double Debunk, 1 Eradicator Epidemic Virus for very specific interactions, 1 Royal Decree, and 2 Skill Drain. This deck can actually completely function under Skill Drain because all of the Dark World cards trigger or activate in Graveyard, and as a result, you can just sit on like a Grapha with its on-field effect negated and recur a 3000 attack beater every couple of turns, and that's good enough. In the extra, we've got a Catastor, an Ancient Fairy Dragon, a Sacred Wyvern, a Black Rose Dragon, a Brionac, a Dark Highlander, a Scrap Dragon, a Stardust, a Stygian Sergeants, a Trishula, an Ardreus, which technically you could make with double Silva, but very rarely came up, double Leviair, 1 Leviathan, and 1 Zen mains. So, with that, let's jump into the games.
I'm just going to apologize now because I can guarantee you I am not going to play this deck optimally, but I am excited to play it because I think it looks like a lot of fun. This is Karakuri. Now, this is one of the other decks that was on the peripheral of the format. I think the big 3 around this time were probably Plant, Agent, as well as Dark World. It seems like that's the case from all the information that we were gathering, but Karakuri was an interesting option as well. This sort of combo control deck that we tend to see in Yu-Gi-Oh! From time to time, and this one looks really fun. So let's go ahead and do the card by card and discuss what made this deck so formidable. So all of the Karakuri monsters have the ability that they must attack if able. Now, this may seem weird because like you may not want to attack necessarily with a 0 attack Nanishi. However, there are instances where if you're on an open board, you even still want to get that attack in because otherwise, if it's selected as an attack target, it has to like change its battle position. It's like a really weird condition, but it's something you definitely have to keep in mind because it can actually be a detriment if you're not mindful of it. So we're going to do our best to remember that. And then all of the Karakuri monsters themselves have different abilities. So Nanishi here is a tuner and a level 3 and basically allows you to get an additional normal summon for your other Karakuri. So that's how you're going to start swarming the field. You're typically looking to get 2 monsters to get your combos going, a tuner and a non-tuner, which is obviously the preferable way. Next up, we have Inashichi. Now, this one actually is just a Stratos for the deck. When it's normal summon, you can actually just add a Karakuri from deck to hand. So that's pretty nice. If you can't go off immediately, you can only set up for the following turn. Then we have Kuik. Now, Kuik's pretty sick because it's a 1700, and when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you get to select a level 4 or lower Karakuri in your grave and special summon it in defense. So that means you can get a tuner. You can either get another level 4 as well, because we do have Utopia in the extra deck too. So there are some plays with this card, and going up against a deck like Plants or decks that play smaller monsters, this is more likely to trigger that effect. Next up is Nisamu. Now, Nisamu has an ability that when it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a level 4 lower Karakuri from your deck. It's a bit slower of a card, you know, because it has to be destroyed by battle specifically, but it is another body at the very least. Then we have Nishipachi, which is, this card's okay. I actually see some application for it. When it's normal or special summon, you can select the monster on the field and change its battle position. When it comes to the synchro monster, this is relevant, but you can also select your opponent's monsters as well, and that way you can actually get over something that may have a smaller defense. And then we have Saizan. This is probably the worst, but it's a level 4 tuner, so it is important, and if the effect comes up, we'll see. But we do have some other monsters in here as well, like Gen X Neutron. This card's pretty sick. It's a Stratos for the deck. During the end phase, if this card was normal summon this turn, you can add a machine-type tuner monster from your deck to your hand. That happens to be what Ninishi is, and that's what you're looking for ideally. This card's also interesting because it activates in the end phase, so it actually sort of dodges Effect Veiler. We also have 2 Cyber Dragon in here just to give us more monsters on the field. We have a Gorz, of course, and then we have 2 Thunder King rounding out our monsters. For the spells, Book of Moon, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Mind Control, very good because we have a lot of tuners we're working with. Monster Reborn, double MST, double Duality. This is a weird one because we are doing a fair amount of special summoning, and so I can see the argument because you are kind of lending the deck towards the control side, but at the same time, it's good to just filter through and maybe get to the combo piece you're looking for. It is a bit slow though. We have 2 Smashing Ground rounding out the spells, and then for the traps, 2 Bottomless, a Compulse, a Mirror Force, a Solemn Judgment, and 2 Warning, the OG Solemn Brigade, a Torrential Tribute, and a Trap Dust Shoot. Then for the extra deck, Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon for any other machine decks, but probably the Mirror more specifically, Allied Justice Catastor, Black Rose Dragon, Brianak, double Karakuri Shogun, MDL00 Bure. Now, this card is crazy. This is ideally what we're trying to go for every single time. It's generic, so we can make it with other cards, and when this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon a Karakuri monster from your deck. What's fantastic about this is that because we have so many different options, it actually allows us to pretty much go into whatever type of synchro play we're looking to do. And then we have Beredo, which is the other one, and this one is also very good. When it's synchro summoned, you can special summon a Karakuri monster from your deck, but on top of that, once per turn, when the battle position of a face-up Karakuri monster you control is changed and remains face-up, draw 1 card. So the fact that you can get so much value off of this is crazy, and these 2 in tandem are just a force. Then we have a bunch of Naturia cards, because all of the Karakuris are Earth, and this is one of the advantages that the deck has. So we have Naturia Barkion for negating traps, Naturia Beast for negating spells, and Naturia Landois for negating effects. This was actually relevant against plant decks specifically, and could actually be a problem for them. We also have Stardust, Trishula, and then for the Xyz, a Leviathan Dragon, and a Utopia. Then for the side deck, double Kaiku. I think this is probably more for agents than anything else to prevent them from banishing and just getting stuff out of their graveyard so they can't go for stuff like Christia. Dimensional Fissure is pretty good just to stop a lot of the top decks, just anything that would go to the graveyard's banished instead, so that seems pretty good because our deck doesn't really care about that. The third MST, a System Down's in here as well. I guess we're also just hedging for that mirror still. We have 2 Chain Disappearance, 2 Debunk. This is a card that really started to see play around this time. When a monster effect is activated in hand or grave, negate the activation, and if you do, banish it. Pretty powerful. Double Dust Tornado, a Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, and 2 copies of Smashing Horn. I have never seen this card in my life. It's a counter trap. When a monster effect or trap card is activated that negates the normal or special summon of a monster, negate the activation and destroy it. So this is good for stopping stuff like Warning, like Judgment, even like Ryo. This can negate summons too. So an interesting card. I'm not sure if we're going to side deck it, but maybe we will. It's something maybe consider. But guys, I cannot wait. This is going to be a blast. I know Joseph's playing one of his favorite decks, and we're playing a deck that we've never played before, so it's going to be fun to try it out. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. Joseph, you are probably so excited for today's episode because this is you getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh! This is cool.
I'm giddy. I'm so hyped. It's gonna be really upsetting when I like lose in a super quick 2-0, but I'm very, very excited.
I don't know if that's going to be the case because the advantage that you have of playing this time and I didn't is that you actually know what's going on. I'm playing a deck that I have never played before. I'm probably going to fuck up because I don't know how to read cards, and you're playing something where you know what everything does. You know how the format was at the time, so I'm expecting it's going to be a 2-0, but probably in the exact opposite way that you're thinking.
Well, knock on wood, but I will say, while I do know what the format was like during that period, we are not playing a very common matchup from that period.
No, not at all.
I guess maybe there should be a little caveat. Dark World was very common. It wasn't good at winning. So during this period, it was expected that this structure deck would absolutely blast everyone out of the water. It would be the next big thing. And when you read the cards that are included in the structure, it's hard not to come to that conclusion. But in practice, one of the worst mirror matches of all time and a generally terrible matchup spread really kept this deck out of contention. I'm excited to be representing it, but it's kind of a short shot of playability now and then a little bit later because things are about to get very bad.
It's no agents, that's for sure.
Oh, it's no
let's
agents.
go ahead and get into it. Let's shout out the patron. It is Stanta. I probably butchered the name, but I apologize. Thank you for the support nonetheless. Buddy, do you have the hands raised?
I got it.
Okay. I rolled a die because I have no faith in my ability to guess anymore. So I'm going to go with odd.
It is odd. I threw up a 1.
All right, the dice are cheating once again.
1 card in hand, 1 hand to the graveyard. That is what I am aiming for.
Okay, so we do get to go first, which is a sigh of relief here, because I think that might be what we need to clean this up. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Good luck, buddy. Let's see if I remember how these cards work. Holy
yikes.
Christ. Okay. You ready, buddy?
Yeah.
I'm going to set 1 and pass.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely right. I'll set 1 too, buddy. I think that's a great idea. I'm then going to set like 4 more because I really, really need you to pick a very specific card for this drag down to the grave.
Gee, I wonder what choice I'm going to have to pick out of your hand.
Could be anything.
Look at that. It's
anything.
Grapha. Who would have thought? Okay, well, by no other choice other than my own, I will select Grapha to go to the graveyard.
Okay, if you insist, I'll send it to the grave, and let me get yours.
All right. Now you get to take a look here. Like, my hand is good, but like... Not yet.
No, yeah, you've got some work to do for sure. Ooh, as much as I want to take a Reborn or something, I think it might be funnier just to take Saizon. That's like the only Karakuri card involved, right?
It's not even like a good one either.
It's not fantastic. Yeah, let's go for Saizon here.
Okay, he's gone.
We will both draw a card.
We will.
And then new chain. Let's go for the effect of Grapha. I'll pop your set card.
Would you like to pop one of your own cards? Because I really would like you to. It's bottomless.
I literally cannot. All right, we're going to Monster Reborn. Show me the crow you drew off the top.
I wish. That's fine. Am I dead?
I wish, dude. All right, well, Gates, this is a little cope, but we do 300 more damage this way.
It's 3,000 damage. Grapha's quite large.
He's a big boy. All right, second main, I will set a card. Back to you.
Fantastic. All right, I'll draw. You got something in standby?
Yeah. The card I drew off of Dragdown was Deck Dev.
Fuck! Okay, well, the nice thing is for you that none of my cards lose to Deck Dev.
I mean, I knew all the cards. All this is fine. Back to you.
At least it just gives you knowledge of the other 2 cards that I have now. Okay, so what's the set? Morphing Jar could be the set, which is kind of scary. I mean, you would just set anything just so that I would get the Grapha out of your hand here, I think.
What if I needed you to pick a Saluri?
I really wish that I had a tuner, because then I'd be more inclined to fire this mind control. I can talk out loud here just simply because I don't
the
care.
Entire hand, yeah.
Yeah, you know everything in my hand, so it's not like it matters. Well, we're going to start by running out this Cyber Dragon. I think we were always doing that.
Seems correct.
I will, in fact, actually mind control here. I want to see what we're working with.
All right, it is Morphing Jar.
Ooh, okay then. Well, do I just want a fresh new hand? I haven't normal summoned, so kind of, but I don't know if I want to give you a fresh new hand because I'm also under Deck Dev, so that's the other thing to consider here. So let's not do that. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I may not have much of a choice. All right, well, I am going to set 4 cards.
Yep.
And we're just going to go for it.
All right, draw them up.
Flip them up. See what we get. Okay, so you get to see all these per Deck Dev, correct?
I do.
Okay, so it is a Thunder King Ryo.
You could just show hand
It is
here.
Okay, I was going to go one by one, but that's fine. It's a Thunder King Heavy Storm Duality, a Gen X Neutron, and a Karakuri Nisamu, which that one will go to the graveyard.
Only get the Nisamu here. Sure, that's fine.
I mean, it's me you're playing against, buddy. You shouldn't be surprised. Okay, we haven't normaled yet. You still have a singular back row. Okay, so I think the play here is I'm going to normal summon my Gen X Neutron. This card's pretty cool. It's Stratos, but like a very slow Stratos. This is like the original Skarm, you know?
Right.
I'm going to reborn my Saizen.
I'll chain Dark Smog.
Ooh, okay. So this actually allows you to blank this here.
Yep.
So you're going to pitch a Fiend. I have no response to this.
All right. The Fiend I'm going to pitch is Silva.
Okay. And we're going to banish the Saizen.
Unsurprisingly.
That sucks. So I'm going to smash the Silva.
No response to this.
I'm going to go to battle.
Yep.
18, 21.
You got it.
And then second main, I don't think I got much else. So I will go to my end phase. You get your jar back, and I'll throw it to you. End phase, actually, I will search for Neutron as well.
Right, of course.
Which doesn't matter, because whatever I search is just going to lose to fucking Deck Dev.
Not true. Deck Dev deals with the cards that you draw and the cards you
draw.
control at the time of activation. So ads off of stuff like Neutron or Pot of Duality do not fall prey to the deck dev.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a little bit better then. I'm going to grab myself, in that case, a copy of Ninishi.
Sure. And let's put that in chat there just so the people at home can remember.
And I will pass it over to you.
Stand by me. Wow, wow. Oh, geez. Whoa, okay. What I meant to say is this is, it's fine. It's nothing to write home about.
Oh my god, yeah, just clean it up already.
I don't think I can clean it up. I will start with a Dark World Lightning targeting this card, this middle one.
Targeting the middle set, huh? You had to go after that one, didn't you? Yeah, it's fine. It's the warning.
I'm going to send Snow Unlight of Dark World here, and I'll trigger the effect.
Sure.
We're going to get
That's
Carafa.
fine. Snow is such a crazy card.
It's wild. I'm going to trigger Gates of Dark World. I'm going to banish this Silva, and I'm going to send a Grapha to grave. We'll draw a card.
Fine by me.
I'll trigger the effect of the Grapha in a new chain. Let's go after your Book of Moon.
Question is, do I want to chain the book?
You could chain it to Morphing Jar. It'd be so funny, dude.
It would be very funny. I would not like to just immediately trigger your whole hand at this rate.
That is true.
What I'm questioning is if there's any advantage to chain it to one of my monsters, possibly like not take damage. It's very likely you're going to be able to get these Graphas back. So all of your Dark Worlds can most likely hit over my guys. I'll just let it go. Whatever.
I will go for Dark World Dealings here.
Okay. We each draw and discard. And I drew a Thunder King.
I will send a Ceruli to the graveyard.
Okay. And I will be discarding, shocker, a Thunder King.
So, fun fact about Ceruli, it's based. When this card is sent to the graveyard, it summons to your field and then triggers a mandatory effect, which requires me to discard a card.
Perfect.
I'm going to discard a Brow and then trigger the effect of Brow. Since it was sent by your effect, I'll draw 2.
That's so cool.
Okay. I'm going to activate a second Gates of Dark World. This is
sure. This is a soft once per turn.
We'll banish a Brow. We'll go for a Silva, and we'll draw a card.
Sure.
Wow. Okay. I have not normal summoned, right?
You have not. All that's happened is Silva has hit the field. And Ceruli as well.
How do people stand this? Can I kill you here?
That's what I said. I'm pretty sure you can probably kill me after giving you a whole new hand.
All right,
Sure.
I'm going to go Fabled Raven here.
Ooh, okay. This card's great.
I don't know if I can do lethal. I'm very close.
Well, I mean, you can probably clear my board. You have me under deck dev, so like half my deck is not going to be a good draw.
Okay, I'm going to go Raven here, discarding 2.
Okay.
We'll send
So
Brow and Lightning.
Brow and Lightning. All right. So it's pumped up to a 24 because of Gates.
Right. And then I will trigger
it is a
the
fiend.
effect of the Brow.
Sure, you get to draw a card.
Oh, you've got to be fucking with me. That can't be real. All right, well, let's just say the game plan has changed. We will activate the effect of the Grapha in Graveyard. We're going to bounce this Silva.
Sure.
All right, we're going to send Morphing Jar and the Raven to the graveyard for Brionac here.
Okay. And guess what? Brionac discards. How funny.
Unfortunately, it discards for cost.
It's for cost, yeah.
Would be a lot funnier if it discarded for effect, but it doesn't.
I don't think so.
Well, to each their own. All right, I am going to declare the effect of Dark Smog. I'll discard Ceruli. Let's go ahead and banish this Nisamu.
Sure.
You can have the Ceruli.
You're going to pitch your Silva.
Yep, that'll summon it, and it will also trigger Silva's effect to return 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck. So,
gross.
You get to pick here.
I get to pick. Do I reveal them?
No, I mean, I don't think you do.
I think I'm going to put back this card, and I think I'm going to put back this card as well. Yeah. All right, let's give that a shot.
All right, back to hand goes the Silva. I will summon the Grapha.
Second Grapha. Yep.
Unfortunately, Dark Smog is once per turn. I had a lot of really funny lethal lines with Brionac, but I just couldn't figure them out. We're just going to go Grapha here. We'll go Grapha into the Neutron.
So I take 12 from this.
We'll go Grapha into the Sidra.
Here's 9.
And I don't know. Let's go Grapha into the Ceruli, too. Who cares? All right, back to you, Buckaroo.
All right. It's going to be a tough one. We'll draw. That is not good. Okay. Phase 1. That's not going to do anything. No. We are going to fire the Duality here.
That's fine.
I'm sorry. I'm under deck dev. So the card, it was a Ninishi, so that's going to grave anyway.
Excellent. The second Ninishi.
Yeah.
All right. Pot of
yes,
Duality
exactly. Right
fine.
on time. Right on time. Okay. Let's see what we get. Well,
Torrential's a sick card, with the exception of if I know you have Torrential.
exactly. I was really hoping it would be Dark Hole. That would have been a much better one. Well, I can add any of these and they'll be under deck dev. Does it matter? You have Brio, so probably not.
Yeah, Nisamu's
that's the
a
other
decent
thing with
out to this
Torrential.
board, but Brio.
It doesn't matter. I'm under duality, so I can't do anything anyway. I can't even attempt to go into synchros. Torrential doesn't matter because you know I have it, because you can just bounce with Brio or just literally not. You don't even have to summon, and I'm dead here. So you got it, buddy. You got the game one. Good old Dark World. This deck is just crazy. It is so fun to play against, and especially fun when you're playing under deck dev, when you're having the Cerulli guy or whatever making you discard your own cards. Very fun deck.
Yeah, it's a blast. Yeah.
It is a
for
blast.
one player. No, imagine that every single one of those reciprocal effects also gave you the ability to trigger the second effect of your Dark World. And you can imagine the hell that was playing Dark World this format.
So I'm going to go ahead and start here. I'm going to go to main phase 1, and I think I'm going to start off by normal summoning a copy of Inasachi.
Inasachi, this is a sick one. So when it's normal summoned, add a Karakuri from your deck to your hand.
Correct.
All right, I'm going to go for the Veiler here.
Wow, that's so disappointing. Okay, well, I can't attack with him. Otherwise, I'd be having to do some fun shenanigans with that. So, with that being the case, go ahead, buddy.
All right, standby main.
Anyone's game.
Shit, I don't know. I mean, I didn't expect to get this far. Let's go Tour Guide from the Underworld.
Gross. Yep.
All right, we're going to grab from deck a copy of, unfortunately, a Brow. This is a very strange deck insofar as Tour Guide doesn't actually do anything. Obviously, you could use Tour Guide to get Sangan. That's what a lot of people were doing during this period. This deck uses it to get Brow, which is a level 3 fiend, and most of the time is just summoning it to have a monster on field to return to hand for Grapha.
For Grapha. Yep.
Very funny. Instead, we are just going to go for a Leviathan Dragon here.
Which still seems pretty good.
That's decent. We'll trigger the effect.
That's fine. Goes up to 25.
All right, next up is Gates.
That's all good.
I'll go for the effect of Gates. Oh, what do I want to do here? Let's pitch a Silva, if that's okay.
Sure.
All right, we'll draw our card. Okay, well, fuck me. That's really rough, actually. I think I'd prefer to just be playing with perfect information. Let's go for a Drag Down into the Grave.
Sure.
So
you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You can go first. It's easy pick for you. I got Fabled Raven and Grapha, so.
Yeah, they're both so fun. Let's see. You've already normaled. I don't want to purposely pitch Grapha, so I think Raven's going to be the call here.
Yeah, the interesting part about this card is, like, even if you brick, it's a decent way to unbrick yourself, and you get to know what your opponent is packing, which is insane.
Yeah. And my hand is, like, pretty stacked, but just not for going first, necessarily.
This is rough. Yeah, so I want to take, like, Nanishi, but the Reborn really complicates that. I will take the Reborn.
Okay. And we both draw?
Yep. Okay, I drew Dealings.
Oh, perfect.
We'll go Grapha here. I'll pop this
I will get rid of a Cyber Dragon.
Sure. We'll return the Silva to the hand, summon our Grapha, and then let's go to combat.
Okay, so I'm going to take 25 and 3K.
Yep, if you do desire.
I don't desire, but, you know, per game mechanics, I will take it.
Back to you, Buckaroo.
So I know Silva's in hand. I don't know the other card, correct?
Do not.
Okay, well, let's see if we can do something about it. I'm going to start by going to main 1 here. So my turn is going to start. It's not really ideal, but I am going to heavy. I do need to clear the gates for what I want to do.
Yep.
I'm going to activate Dimensional Fissure.
Ooh, that is really bad for me.
I'm going to special Sidra.
Yep.
Normal Nanishi.
Yeah.
We'll activate Nanishi to normal summon a Saizon.
Yep.
I'm going to sync the Nanishi. This gets banished, as well as the Sidra.
Oh, okay.
We're going to go for a Burrito.
Oh, okay, sure.
To trigger the effect of Burrito, I get to special summon here. So I'm going to go for a copy of Kuik.
Quick is fine.
I'm going to sync the Saizon and the Kuik for a second copy of Burrito.
That's a good one.
I'm going to use this copy of Burrito to special summon a copy of the Nispachi from the deck here in defense position.
Yep.
I will trigger its effect on summon to switch it to its battle position. So I will change it to attack position, triggering both copies of Burrito to draw 2 cards.
Yep.
We're going to draw 2 here. Then we're going to proceed to battle. Burrito over Leviathan.
I'm taking 3 and then 1.
Yes. And then 5, because my strategist must attack.
That is true. I'll take it.
Okay. And then I will go to second main. I'm going to set 2 cards.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm going to pass the turn.
All right, stand by main.
And these, yeah, everything got banished as it should. Okay. Yep. I mean, that was a productive turn.
That was a good one. I'll go dealings.
Dealings is fine. So each draw and discard.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'll get rid of lightning.
Okay. I'm getting rid of Nisamu.
Sure. I'm going to activate Reborn, targeting your Cyber Dragon.
Ooh, Reborn was the other one. Oh, fuck. My field is all machines. You have Silva in hand? Yeah, we're going to warning that.
Okay. Well, let us proceed. Oh, wait, hold up. You're pretty low. You can probably kill me. But on the off chance I draw Sparks, I think I'm going to let you take your turn.
I was about to say, I do still need to kill you here, but we'll see. Okay, I'm going to draw for turn. This is, what, 56? This is 61 currently on board? Okay, I think I can do something about that. Any guy does it. I'm going to start by switching Nispachi to defense to trigger my Burritos and draw 2. Okay, those were not guys, but fortunately I had the Nanishi already in hand.
Oh, okay, wow.
Oh, wait, this doesn't do it. Oh, shit.
They're both tuners, yeah.
They're both tuners. This is a problem. Let me think here.
If only there was something you could do with 2 3-star monsters.
Yeah. Do I even have the option? I do. I didn't know we had this in the extra deck. I had to check. I do have Leviathan.
All right, you got it, buddy.
Yeah, there we go. So, game 2. Wow. All right, this has been good.
And that's why Dark World was not well represented. It remains one of the easiest decks in the history of time to board against, and 1 die-fi does shut the whole thing down. I simply hope you will not find another one.
In all fairness, my back was kind of to the wall there, so you almost had it. But
right.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm gonna begin.
I got to combo off a little bit
with the DWD here.
Sure. Let's go ahead and draw up. Okay. I think I got my pick.
All right, mine's Silva.
Okay, shocker. I think I'm actually going to get rid of Smashing Ground.
Sure. I'll dealings here again.
All right, she's going for it.
Oh, this is not a good hand. All right, lightning to grave.
I will get rid of Nisamu.
Sure. I'm gonna set 2 here. Back to you.
Okay. We'll draw. Anything standby.
Nope.
Go to main 1. Let's try for the heavy.
Jesus.
This is where you dark deal me, buddy.
Oh, God, could you imagine? I have a mind crush.
You're gonna blind it? I mean, well, you're playing Dark World, so you don't even care if you get this right.
I kinda do. Okay. You've drawn so many cards.
Courtesy of you. Thank you for that.
I think that you have a copy of Ninishi in hand.
You got it, buddy.
Oh.
Congrats. This is old rules, too, so you get to see my hand. My hand was pretty good.
Oh, my Lord. This is a decent one.
We were about to go off if you didn't have that Mind Crush.
Okay. It was a MST is the other card.
MST, whatever. Okay. Well, I guess this complicates things because now I am without my tuner, sadly. So, why do these things have to attack?
Tell me about it.
Awful. You've got 2 in hand still. You're not doing anything. If I summon the Inashichi, I get the search, but then I have to crash into your Silva and take a shit ton of damage. It just doesn't feel like the move, but then the problem is I feel like I've got nothing else going on if I don't. You're on Dark World. You're easily capable of summoning big idiots. I think I have to. Honestly, like, I'm just going to go for it.
Inishashi's fine.
I'm going to get a Nanishi. Battle, I have to attack, so I'm going to crash here.
That's fine.
Take 18 from that, sadly. Second main, I'm going to set 2. You already know what they are, and I'm going to pass the turn.
Stand by main. Well, we're going to set 2 here. So I'll go to combat. No attack here.
Yep, 23.
All right, back to you.
Suppose I'm going to MST here on the end phase. I just don't know which one I want to go for, so we're going to go for this one.
It is Dark Smog.
Okay. Probably pretty inconsequential, sadly. Okay. Go to main phase 1. Well, I guess we give it the old college try. I will special summon Cyber Dragon.
No response here.
I will normal Ninishi.
Also fine.
I will sync up. Do I want Burrito? Stardust also seems pretty good, depending on if you actually play real back row.
Whoa. Come on here.
Problem with Stardust is that it just like dies to all your guys.
Yeah, I've got some big boys in here.
It's a tricky one. I am going to go for the Burrito here. What do you got?
I got nothing.
Wow. All right. Effect.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go for everyone's favorite little guy, the Nispachi. Activate his effect. Change him to attack. Draw a card.
Yep.
Okay. I did not think we were getting this far, if I'm being honest. Okay. What else would you have in the back? Could be a battle trick. I feel like you would have warning that. I'm just going to go to battle. Burrito in.
I'll take 1,000 total here.
And my mandatory attack goes in. Second main, I think I'm just going to pass.
All right, stand by main.
Sure.
Well, how do you feel about doing this exact play again? I'm going to activate Monster Reborn targeting Cyber Dragon. This card has just read pay 2,000 life points.
Yeah, I mean, kind of have to.
Jeez.
I'm like literally dead if I didn't do
2 in
that.
hand.
2 in hand. You don't know either.
I have to do this now, I think. I'm going to Dark Smog. We're going to pitch a Grapha.
Okay. Oh, that doesn't feel good.
I had to get
Sure.
this one
What are you gonna
turn
banish?
earlier. I don't care. What matters for you? You've got 2 Ninishi. I guess Inishashi is the silliest one. And we'll just go ahead and crack that Burrito.
It's fine.
All right, back to you.
All right. He's got Smog and nothing else.
Yep.
Can we do something about it? Let's see. I'm going to fire my Reborn.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I'm actually going to go for Nisamu
Sure.
here. So we're going to sync both of these for a Bore. Bore effect, we're going to special.
Yep.
Going to go for a copy of Kuik here. Going to normal Saizon.
Yep.
Sync both of these for a Burrito.
Yep.
Trigger Burrito, I'm going to summon another copy of Kuik, and I think this is lethal, actually.
Yep, you got it.
Oh my god, we did it. Holy shit. I had to find the line, but...
Help was not coming.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. Well, that's Dark World.
I mean, it put on a good show, I would say. Maybe not in this last game,
All
but...
right, are you ready for the ultimate reveal?
Okay.
I am not playing Chimera Tech Over Dragon.
Oh my god, it was just bait the whole time.
Yeah, not that it mattered. Oh, man. No, yeah,
To be fair, like, if you did have it, I was dead in either case. So it's like, I had to respect whether or not you have it. But I love when you have a card that forces that psychological warfare in the game, you know, where it's like, oh, if you have it, though, like, you just fucking lose.
Yeah, I don't think I could have waited on the Smog, because you get the extra card, but I didn't know you already had everything in hand. Oh, jeez. Wow. That hand really came together for you. Warning plus Inishashi plus Sidra plus MST into Runner Reborn Saizon. That's pretty good.
I was trying to keep my hand in such a way where that if you drag down me, it was going to be a hard choice for you to be able to hit something out of my hand. Because initially, I think my hand was Ninishi, Nisamu, and the Merchant. And then I think it was like Warning Heavy Storm. And then when you made me draw 2 cards, I drew into like Sidra Nisamu or something like that. I don't recall. But basically, I just wanted to have a handful of guys so that it was just going to be a hard choice for you to make one, because then I would have more access to just do something regardless of what your choice was. So that's why I was pitching stuff that was just seemingly irrelevant at that point, like Smashing Ground. I almost discarded Warning actually at one point, but I'm kind of glad that I didn't.
This was an interesting one for sure. Dark World, as I'm sure showed from this, suffers from a fair amount of problems. People see really explosive turns like the ones that we did in Game 1 and think, oh my god, this is the greatest deck in the history of time. It literally cannot lose. Then they see how easy it is to board against, like in Game 2, when it literally can't beat a face-up Dimensional Fissure. And then in Game 3, I opened a hand of like Smog, Dealings, Silva, Mind Crush, and drew MST off the top. And then the dealings were lightning and second smog in order. And it's like, well, that just happens, right? Sometimes the deck doesn't get off to the races. You don't find a snow or a tour guide from the underworld, and you just kind of sit. You look at your opponent and say, okay, well, if you have some sort of consistent way to get powerful monsters on the field, I'm absolutely boned, and Karakuri does have that.
And it's one of those decks, Dark World specifically, that, I mean, it always has, like, these notorious pop-ups throughout history, right? Like, this deck, I believe, goes on to win the biggest YCS of all time, YCS Long Beach, which we actually haven't gotten to yet, but that's not too far off in the future here. And so when you see it, like, winning events like that, and, like, winning regionals, and, you know, just always dominating locals, because at the very least, Dark World, what it can do best is just basically body everyone at your local game store, is that it's a deck that, like, everyone will then flock to because it's like, damn, this deck looks crazy. And then you kind of just, you know, fall back down to earth once you realize that it does require a lot of things to go correctly a lot of the time for that to be the case, but it's still a formidable threat. And once we get into here 2012, it actually still is one of the best decks of the format amongst some of the other threats that we haven't discussed yet. And it will just continue to be. I mean, Gates is just a house of a card. I mean, it does everything for that deck that it could possibly wanted, and just being able to put up these big threats every single turn constantly. Grapha is just another card that is just unbelievably strong. From, like, if there was like a boss monster for an archetype, like, Grapha is it, right?
Yes. I mean, not surprising why this was all over all the marketing. Also not surprising why it sort of failed to take off.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's go ahead and shout the patrons as always. So big shouts to Shout1317, Moto, Cameron Smith, Chaotic Meatball, Tim 0x3, Ian Musaka, Iron Fang, Part 2, Pony Stark, Dan the Man, Hoban, Synchro Guy, Ole, Yusuf Fast 05, Sylvia Watts, Cole Teacher, Iconic, Rockslide, Dalu, Up, Logan Thomas, Peter Gregory, Thomas Elson, Jordan Coons, Calvin, Iron Blazing, Pure Ace, Jesse Wood, True Nerdgasm, Brother Paul, Chris Hood, MBT, Play Madolce, Nehru Celeste, David Liu, Chat God, Skyrose, Dylan Hunter, John Two Base, Extremely Vulgar Man, Brody Eastwood, Day Sir, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Ashlyn Jensen, Give Me Speed Order, Give Me Death, Guys Please Read Your Cards, CC Gaming, Thanks for the Sleeves Dad, Matthew Brady, Ash Blossom Toe Sniffer, Max, Tom Russell, Bench Snatch Deal for Prague 2021, Chipotle Rice, Wah Yan, Omar, I Think of MBT in the Shower, Super Dark Edge, and Kanye's famous album, MBT DTF. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time.